Man, it's dark in here. Uh, there we go. A little clarity there. So good to come out of YouTube jail. Let me try to improvise here. There you go. All right. Hey, everybody. How are you? This glorious evening is now. What time is it? Let's see. 1700, 13 hours, East Coast Standard Time. And those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Antonio Arnold, aka Beast Mode, a Army Air Force veteran, naval veteran. Sitting here waiting on my wife, so I wanted to have a talking point when I have an opportunity. And see my brother coming out. Looks very friendly. Anyway, guys, a lot had happened this week. A lot had happened last week. Everybody knew about the debacle that happened with FTX. A lot of people lost money, billions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars. I lost money too because I was with FTX. But life goes on. You recover. The markets recover too because I was with FTX. But life goes on. You recover. The market's recovering. And go to show you can't lie, cheat, and steal and greed be a whole. You got to take responsibility. So, I mean, of course, Sam's going to be taking some responsibility for misleading the people. But I want to talk about my friends overseas. You know, hail to Ukraine. I love you, Ukraine. But also to my brothers in Poland and sisters in Poland, in Eastern Europe. I want to ask for prayers for the people in Poland. What's that? Okay, but battalion. I want to have thoughts and prayers to go out to the people in Poland. And, there's a lot here happening. I don't know, it's 5 minutes to midnight. I'm an old Cold War veteran. I served over 22 years. I joined the Army in 1982, sent to Fort Benning, Georgia. I served over 22 years. I joined the Army in 1982, sent to Fort Benning, Georgia. I joined the Army in 1982, sent to Fort Benning, Georgia for infantry basic and AIT 2, sent to Fort Benning, Georgia for infantry basic and AIT training. And I've seen a lot. I learned about, and then I became an officer later on as a lieutenant, where I learned about airland battle. Had to study Warsaw Pact and their tactics. And I was pretty prepared then. But now I see things are starting to unravel that it's not good for all of us. Like Russia fired 2 missiles, I believe intentional, for Ukraine. They just launched a barrage. That's pretty public information. There's no security clearance in that. Everybody's talking about it. And it just happened to, whoops, boom, right into Polish territory. NATO, Polish territory. I wonder if anybody have any thoughts on the matter. Anybody from Poland, anybody from Ukraine, anybody from Eastern Europe, anybody from Lithuania, Estonia, have any insight? More anti-missiles, more military spending, more NATO troops in Poland. What more can they do? I don't know. Look, family, familiar, 25 years retired. Don't you know? I told my wife, was telling my wife, I said, you know what? I knew it was going to happen. This is the same playbook that was planned, to start World War III. Yes, I'm sorry, brother, disregard you. But I mean, it is what it is. We're pretty much close. I have access to a training video with a scenario of how the war in Europe was going to kick off. And Ukraine and Poland was 2 of the key factors. And damn it, if it didn't happen for real. It really did. Now, was it hit by Ukraine in midair and it just happened to landed in Poland? That's a good question. I mean, we can interpret it so many ways. It could have, and then just like Okay, remember in Iraq, we were fighting Saddam and Desert Shield, Desert Storm, and one of our patriots shot down a missile over Israel that was heading towards Israel, and yet it hit one of our barracks, did a direct hit to our barracks back in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Anybody remember that? We fired a Patriot missile, and it hit the Scud missile, and it came direct hit right down into our area. Anybody remember that? I go to Poland regularly and used to go to Ukraine regularly. Bless you, sir. Bless you, Black Pro, Olton. Forgive me. I am not good with names. Forgive me. Mispronounce my name. I'm okay with it too. Encourage your viewers to share that. So, guys, anyone have any views, any other views of what's going on? Any insights? Without getting TikTok to do what it do, without saying too much. I had a friend that used to serve in the Polish Army back in the Cold War days. We ended up serving in the Army together. But yeah, man, I'm just thinking about what happened then. But it could have happened here. I mean, the scenario that I put on this platform, there's a video. Y'all look back at on my profile and look at, I put the scenario on this platform. It got over 5,000 hits, 10,000 views on it. Go back and look at it. You'll be amazed of what's transpiring based on that scenario showing BBC and what's going on now in the last 8 months. It looks very familiar. It looks almost identical in theory, but it's not there, but it's still identical. Hey, Michael Knight, thanks for joining. What I'm talking about is a little bit about the market, and I'm talking about Poland, what's going on in Poland. Hey, I left you some sushi. Okay, thank you. You want to sit back and eat some while we're here before you pull off? You got a bottle of water?
Oh, sure.
Gotta have bottled water. Y'all make sure y'all load up with some bottled water. Get a gallon, get a few gallons of water. Get a bucket and just with a lid on it and just fill it with water and have it in a storage area in your shed or under your house because you might need it for washing and cleaning and so forth. You might need it in case we lose power because we don't know what's going to happen next. Another option is for NATO to apply a no-fly zone on Western Ukraine. They did talk about that beforehand, and NATO was against it before Ukraine even asked for a no-fly zone, and NATO said no. So I wonder, guys, would NATO say yes this time? NATO said yes this time. Dankeschön. Yes, I try to speak a little German. My dad speaks very good Deutschland. My dad was stationed in Deutschland years ago, and we have family that's German, and it's in my ancestry too. Yeah, so I try to speak a little bit of dialect. I don't speak Deutschland at all. I just try to memorize how my dad taught me. But anyway, another reason for NATO is to apply a no-fly zone, and I hope they do. But it will escalate. No matter what happens, it's going to escalate. It just hopefully that Putin will back down. Now, if Putin backs down and his generals and his far extremists, far left extremists, communists, do a Bolsheviks on him and then push for this thing for a retaliatory strike on any NATO aircraft flying over Ukraine would be shot down by Russian aircraft, could lead to something much bigger. Yeah, for a whole country, it wouldn't work. I'd agree. But I think with the western side of Ukraine, right near Poland, and between Poland and the Belarus would be a good idea. It wouldn't work. West Ukraine, yes. Yeah, I agree. Black Pro, yeah. But it's got to be a bigger solution. And I just hope heavy diplomacy would take the lead on this and work out a deal before we go into a military action situation. But yeah, things are starting to get real. I mean, it's all over the news worldwide. People are going bonkers over it. Being myself, in my background, I have to be in the know, but I'm trying to keep myself not in the know. in this situation because it seems like it's not a cut and dry. Nothing's cut and dry. Nothing is ever cut and dry. You just don't know when stuff's going to hit the fan. All it takes is a spark. It may take just as little as one missile, one incursion, and then a withdrawal. One missile strike, and then there's an accident. And if you don't take responsibility of those accidents and say, oops, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It was not intended to hit your country. We will provide you with medical care, compensation for the family, and also money for the help repair work. Now, you gotta remember, Russia's in a what? What's the word, guys? What's the word? Sanctions. They're on heavy sanctions. So I don't know if Russia will have the money to do it. NATO Article 4 will be invoked. Wow. If it do, then we're about 2 minutes to 12 midnight. So NATO Article 4 will be invoked. Wow. If it do, then we're about 2 minutes to 12 midnight. To all my Cold War brothers. I just hope y'all got some bunkers to go to and some fallout shelter. I mean, we don't want to think about it. I think about it all the time ever since I was in. Excuse me. Hold on for a second. It's dark and rainy out here, as you can tell. How's the weather where you are? Okay. Yeah, they did. They have denied. Yeah, Russia will deny, will always deny. It's their knee-jerk reaction. That's Soviet Union Russia for you. It's their mentality. They're getting their butts handed to them, and they probably go stupid rather than lose face in the world. They're going to take the whole world down with them. I hope not. I'm just talking out of my head, but that's how I feel about opinion. No war is Article 5, not Article 4. Okay. All right. Well, I don't remember. It's been a long time since I was really in tune with it. I'm just at the last minute, just wanted to chat. But anyone who got any insights of this situation at hand? I mean, what could be the next step, brothers and sisters? Situation at hand. I mean, what could be the next step, brothers and sisters, in this regards to Poland, NATO? I don't know. She like she's stuck. Pull the thing, lift it up, and call it a day. Some people are so weak. Just go around it. Yeah. Man. You can tell they never served. Anyway, we make it happen. Yeah. I don't know what the future holds. I mean, it could go either way. All I know is always be ready. That's all I know. To the best of my ability, and keep my family, my immediate family, ready. Some people take it, it's like, oh, life goes on, and that's what you should do. Life should go on, but you should always be ready. I know a lot of people in positions are confirming, are sure. Intel are, doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. See, what's they supposed to do that? Okay, thank you. You got more than one of these?
No, you on the way home.
You only got one? Okay, thank you. Okay, who else? For okay, for another country consulating with all of NATO and decided appropriate response. Yeah, there's going to be a response. Now, would the response be you can't think of the word. Should it be, that's a nice BMW. Should the response be proactive to the point of more economic sanctions, more punishment, or should we do a strike in Kaliningrad? Should we put a complete blockade of Kaliningrad, like a siege on Kaliningrad, bring all our missiles to bear, ready to fire at Kaliningrad since it's the closest one, and also against Belarus and the other Russian territory? But at the same time, is Lithuania, Estonia, are they ready to make that commitment too? Because they're right next to Soviet Russia. And I will continue to call Russia Soviet. In my eyes, they've been Soviet and they're still bad Soviets. They'll always be Soviets. You got a former KGB up in there who's in charge. You got a lot of his goons who are former KGBs and former Soviet supporters. So, Soviet Union is still alive to me. I don't know about anybody. Okay, what else you say? Poland can also pressure. That's right, it sure can. And I hope it does. Poland's military is no longer a pushover like it was back in pre-World War II, World War II times when back in the 1920s, Russia invaded Poland the first time, and then they invaded it again along with Deutschland, the second Nazi Germany, Deutschland, the second time in the 1939. So if anybody looking to attack Poland, they're in for a rude awakening. Poland had a great deal of experience in pain, and they're not taking it no more. They have modern weaponry. They still have some Cold War assets where they have exchanged out for Ukraine and behalf of the Ukrainian people for new weaponry. So I'm quite sure if Russia does any more strikes on Poland, they end for a very big, rude awakening. And plus, this time, Poland got serious backup. I pray that NATO would not do like the, help me with my history, guys. I pray that NATO would not do to Poland like the League of Nations has done. Because when Poland was invaded, France and Great Britain did declare war later on. They did declare war, but it did nothing to the Western Front to divert those German soldiers from continuing to hinder the German resources from moving into Poland the way they did. Poland was completely obliterated by the Soviet Union and Deutschland, Nazi Germany, that time. And then
There's no glasses out there.
excuse me, in your purse? Oh, your glare glasses. Okay, look at these. Ain't they nice? Okay. Because they got screwed and they did nothing. Even though they declared war in Germany, not the European Union, the League of Nations did absolutely nothing. And it hadn't to do nothing until when Germany went through Belgium and went through the daggone forest where they thought was impenetrable and put the French in a definite disadvantage. So, I mean, at this point, from history learned, I hope the Polish beat the crap out of them. But you got to remember, NATO, you got to keep your promise this time. NATO, Western Europe, you got to keep your promise this time. You cannot back down under any circumstances. That's just my opinion. I mean, because they did back down before, or they delayed. History proved it. But big difference between World War, of course there's a big difference. They got nuclear weapons. You doggone right. Nukes. But it's invulnerable. If they're going to use nukes, they're going to use nukes anytime. They was going to use nukes during 1962. First of all, when Berlin, I think we should keep straight. Because this is very tight. Yeah. You're right. Nuke is a game changer. Nobody wins with nuke. But it's getting to the point nukes might be the trump card that starts it all. Whoever backs down lose. And who else could say that Russia will continue to march? Hey, I got nukes. I got the ultimate weapon. Do something. I'm walking in, you're kicking down your house. Come on. Dude, I dare you. And you backing off, and you back off to the neighbor's house, and you back off, they took over your neighbor's house. When is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? Sooner or later, level head's going to, not going to prevail. And I don't know. I pray that diplomacy prevail and Russia back off this conquest in the name of Putin. Because I don't believe Putin has anything to lose. He's a billionaire. He's controlled most of Russia. And I believe he's a man who's not afraid to die. I really believe that. I've been watching Putin. I mean, ever since there's a church right there. Okay, that's right. I believe Putin is a man who's ready to put all his cards on the table and call it a day. But I hope level head prevail. But you got to remember, Putin got a lot to lose too. And most importantly, the less Russian people. Nobody wants nuclear war. I don't want, radiation can mess up your DNA and kill you from the inside out. We don't want that. The last time nuclear weapons were used in anger was World War II against the Japanese. In two cities. And they do not have the megaton power as the new nuclear weapons do today. Russia and United States, China, I can't remember the other country name. France, Britain. We got in India and Pakistan. We got enough stuff to vaporize a great deal of cities to send it back into the Stone Age. Now, we still got the know-how to make solar energy work. We still know how to produce electricity and heat. It's just going to be in a playing field where people will suffer hunger. Distribution going to be shut down or limited. But we'll survive. But the thing is, a lot of people are going to suffer unnecessarily. And it's totally unnecessary, in my opinion. How do you feel about that? I mean, do you feel this nuclear weapons used is totally unnecessary? And the threat, you go ahead. Right there. Turn to the left. Very good. Very good. Excellent. I know it's got kind of blinding, driving in the dark. Oh, we're back in our home turf. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, it's 1,000 times stronger today. Yes, I agree. No need to stay on the power for life to stay alive. Is that you, Black Pro? Well, we can. I mean, we hope to. But if push come to shove, I'll fight. I'm a guy. I will fight. I will. But I believe the United States. I don't know. I forgot what our protocol is. Whether the first strike or the second retaliatory strike. But if Russia is foolish enough to do that, that would be a bad thing. I really believe that. That would be a bad thing for everybody. I mean, we do have the right to retaliatory strike. And I know a lot of, just like back in the 60s and 70s, we had 24-hour flights going on. I'm not going to go into detail about that. And I know we got these things in play, upgraded and in play. And I'm quite sure Vladimir Putin has upgraded his stuff too. So it makes sense. But that's a lot of money for potential destruction, though, for everybody. A lot of money for destruction. But when you got a individual who's imperialistic in mind of conquest and reuniting the Soviet bloc and wanted to say make Imperial Russia super again, I mean, they're still big as the biggest landmass in the world. I mean, they should be happy with that, but they want what's that name? Ukraine's Black Sea area. They want what's that name? Ukraine's Black Sea area. What's that name of that part of Ukraine? Crimea. Black Sea area. What's that name of that part of Ukraine? Crimea. Not Crimea. Is it? I can't remember Crimea. No. Yeah, Crimea. I can't remember the name. Y'all help me out. I'm brain busted today, and I'm not meant to. It's called MAD, Mutual Assurance Destruction. Amen. Thank you. Y'all help me out. I'm brain busted today, and I'm not meant to. It's called MAD, Mutual Assurance Destruction. Amen. Thanks, Black. You're not a blackjack, are you? All right. All right. Just testing. Yeah. Mutual Assured Destruction across the board. That's exactly what I meant. You know, it's going to be destruction for everybody. Here you go. What are you doing this? Damn. Thanks. You ain't help. You just tell me. I thought you were trying to reach for another bottle. All right. You think it's dark now. You're driving on the highway and EMP, your stuff goes off. Your car, your computer cars, your Tesla shuts down and you wonder, wait, what the heck is going on? You just had a nuclear blast. Crimea! Yay! Thanks, Black. You're all right, bro. Love you. Appreciate it, man. I'm glad somebody knows. It's been long. I used to study this stuff and it's be on to it, but I mean, I just want to talk about it. It's just a last minute. I'm not prepared to. I'm not really prepared to talk about it in detail, but I'm just ready. I'm just a little concerned. That's all I'm just saying. If it's anything like many of you, Crimea, yeah, you know, without that Black Sea area, I mean, that's the warm water port. I mean, of course, they have the other ports offside, still part of the Black Sea. But it's sad that a lot of people died. 200,000 died on all sides, and then you got 80,000 Russian soldiers died, and still not including the wounded. And the same thing with Ukraine. I'm quite sure 80,000, 50,000 Ukrainian soldiers have passed, and more airborne. Yeah, and you just don't know. But anyway, all I can say is we just kind of hope that our leadership in NATO no. But anyway, all I can say is we just kind of hope that our leadership in NATO, our military leaders, and of course the president make sound good decisions, and this time he listens to them. I pray that the president of Russia, Mikhail Gorbachev, not Gorbachev, I mean Putin, Vladimir Putin, will make good decisions. Forgive, I'm still thinking I'm back in the days because the Mikhail Gorbachev, he died, God rest his soul. But he was definitely an instrument of peace. Putin, on the other hand, I don't think so. I pray, wherever you are, be close to your families. Pray for each other, guys. I'm at my destination. I'm going to pull the car in myself. I'm praying for the world. Pray for each other, man, because I want the very best, and I still want to enjoy my life all the way up to 80 years old. In the meantime, guys, we're here.
Just 80? Just 80?
What are you talking about?
Just 80 years old, that's all?
Okay, 1,000 years old. Then. I want to live 100 years old.
120?
Yeah, I'm 50-something. I've got 50 more years to go. And I want a good quality of life. I want everybody to have a good quality of life. Yeah, boy. Here you go, have fun. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you for chiming in during your busy schedule. I know things are tight. Keep an eye on what's going on. Like my page. Follow me. Send me some messages here, too. And let me know how things are going on. In the meantime, this is Antonio Arnold, a.k.a. Beast Mode Silent or Airborne.